you learn a lesson just from one of these videos and then you go, wow, that was interesting, cool. And then you go off and you just do some bullshit for the rest of the day. You haven't actually learned that lesson. You only feel like you do. Have you already reached that point in your self-improvement journey where you realize watching 100 more videos of the best ones on this website won't give you more results than just taking that one first step towards consistent action on the things that you already know? If that's the case, then this video is going to be a gut-wrenching punch in the stomach, and it's going to be very painful, but it's the one that you need right now. Hey brother, if you're new to the channel, my name's Ethan, and after binging self-improvement content on this website for 6 years between 18 and 24 years old, while only making like a year of consistent progress in that time, I'm creating this channel to document my process of graduating out of this self-improvement depression stage that we're defining as those years that you spend knowing everything you should be doing after watching over 300 self-improvement videos, but you haven't taken the consistent actions to change your life with those lessons. And I'm using the life-changing dopamine detox to graduate myself as well as you out of this stage so that you and I can both become disciplined men of action. With the instant we learn something, we take action for the rest of our lives consistently. We've recently entered season 2 of the channel that we're calling the commitment season, because I want to prove to myself as well as you that all it takes is single-minded focus and commitment to one singular goal to get the results that we've all dreamed about. So very quickly, we're ramping the channel up from 1 video per week up to 2, where the first video per week is going to be about the life-changing dopamine detox that will graduate us out of this stage. And then that second video, I'll be distilling down the golden value bombs that I've learned on self-improvement YouTube in the past 6 years. If that sounds useful to you, which it really should, because there are no other YouTube channels like this on this website, then I highly encourage you to subscribe so that you can actually improve yourself this time. The topic of today's video is that we must be more strict about our definition of learning. Because let me ask you this, if you watch some YouTube video on how to get over your anxiety talking to girls, have you learned how to talk to women by watching that video? I'm sure you realize the answer is no. But so often we get convinced by watching these videos, we get these chemicals and endorphins and whatever that, man, I just learned that lesson. Oh, I'm gonna go out into the world and I know how to talk to chicks now. But then the instant you take that first action towards trying out what you learned in the video, you're shit, right? You have to get your first few reps in to actually learn the lesson with a capital L so that you actually get better results in your real life. You haven't learned the lesson just by watching the video, but we've all suffered from this paradox of phantom progress where you watch the video and feel as though you've made the progress. To really paint this picture for you, because I want to be the channel that gets you to take action, contrary to the other guys who you just watch for fun and motivation that lasts like 5 minutes. I want to share a very personal and embarrassing story with you that I haven't even told to friends and family, because it really is, it doesn't paint me in a good light, bro. In university, I have failed 5 courses through my 4-year degree, which made me need to spend over $5,000 in summer courses just to catch up from my failed courses. There are many reasons why this happened, but if you boil it down to the most important one, it's because I didn't learn from my previous failures. Previously, I would fail an exam because I procrastinated, I pushed the studying all the way up until the night before the exam, and then of course I'm not going to pass it, right? University isn't like high school where you can just get great grades without trying. The unfortunate reality is, this happened to me several times, but I kept repeating the same old mistake. So while I learned with a little L that you can't procrastinate on an exam that bad and then still pass, I didn't learn with the capital L in a way that changed my actions consistently. It got so bad that I became a regular in the academic advisor's office, and there was this one class in my degree that it was infamous for being difficult, and I actually failed that one 2-3 times before I finally passed. Because of my kind of notoriety I built in the academic advisor's office, they referred me to this special experimental academic advisor called a student success strategist. It was this new role that they were kind of experimenting with. It was like a level above the other academic advisors. And I was the only guy who, like, this really paints the picture of how bad it got, bro. I was the only guy who they referred to this new experimental, higher level academic advisor, right? Like, this is why I haven't told most of my friends and family about it. So because I was the only guy who was getting one-on-one time on a weekly basis with this advisor, we kind of developed a more like human bond than the academic advisor and student relationship, right? It got to the point where because we had, a human bond like that, I opened up to her about how I thought a lot of my academic failures were stemming from some heartbreak I was suffering from in my second, third year university from my first relationship, and how it was having an impact on my grades, right? And this advisor went above and beyond. She basically became half advisor, half therapist for me to help me succeed. And again, because of this human relationship, this connection we had built, and she looked me in the eyes and she said, "Ethan, what the fuck do you think is going to happen differently this time? You're acting insane." And when she said that to me, it's not like some light bulb went off in my head, but what happened was I saw that she cared about my success, I just needed somebody in my back corner kind of rooting for me to make me finally learn the lesson with a capital L. So in my fourth year of university, I got straight A's in my second semester because I had finally started having better academic habits and study habits. The whole point of this embarrassing story I'm sharing with you is I want to really drill down the lesson that lowercase l learning and capital L learning are two completely different things. When you learn a lesson just from one of these videos and then you go, wow, that was interesting, cool. And then you go off and you just do some bullshit for the rest of the day. You haven't actually learned that lesson. You only feel like you do. You've capital L learned a lesson from one of these videos when after learning the lesson, it becomes permanently a consistent habit in your life. Something changes, the results change from you having capital L learned this lesson. Having to learn and relearn and relearn and relearn the same lessons over and over again is hell on earth, bro. The self-loathing and self-hatred you will suffer from having known what you should do and still acted in an instant gratification decision, it literally eats you up spiritually. The reason I'm working so hard on this channel is because I want this to be the capital L learning channel for you. And I realize that you've watched over 300 self-improvement videos. You just need the guy to just be honest and say, you don't need me. You need yourself to get more consistent and disciplined with your action taking. You know everything you need to be doing. You have to increase delayed gratification and decrease instant gratification. I have a very simple action mission for today's video. I challenge you to reminisce on the past self-improvement videos, like the bangers you've watched, the ones that have really made you think. How many of those caused a shift in your habits? I know, bro. It's probably less than 10% of them. I want you to move forward on your self-improvement journey only watching the videos that will immediately have an impact on your action taking. If you're afraid that you're about to follow bad old habits and turn this video into just momentary motivation for yourself, then I encourage you to watch my specifically engineered playlist that teaches you and actually gets you, with a capital L learning, to take action after every single self-improvement video you watch, because that's the big game changer between your previous self and the self that you're going to be with these videos. Watch that video now if you're serious about developing better consistency with your good habits. I'll see you in that video, bro.